Alrighty, good morning, guys. Happy Wednesday. Almost done with this month. We got, Monday's the 31st. Not completely done, but on our way there. Futures opening higher. S&P 25 basis points. Nasdaq heading towards half. Dow's around the 25 as well. Looking at what happened overnight. We talked a little bit about coming into the day. It's going to be dependent on pre-market. Well, here we are. We opened higher. We opened higher than the low from yesterday. Momentum continues. This is off really the tail of China doing very well. If we just look at the Hang Seng. Hang Seng yesterday did a lot of points. It did almost 2% after really coming out of a low that you probably saw some of the charts I posted last night, that if you look at what you see here on the Hang Seng, this sort of flag idea through here, we see a lot of tickers that are coming off a very deep sort of low consolidation that never really ever tested a bid, that had a nice trend before that, have entered into this very short-term sort of bull break that's trying to ascend out of that low and continue a trend from before, really just try to fight through some supply is what's happening here. And so the question was coming into the day was China going to be able to put points on again today? Again, there's a lot of looming regulation, a lot of reasons why prices have been not so much selling long positions, but just stale. Not a lot of volume going to the upside, which we sort of saw a little bit yesterday intraday in our markets. But today, open up and put about 1% on. If you look at where we are in our market, we are opening basically from that in the same way. And in terms of China positions that we've been talking about for a while, and then we finally took a couple, specifically PDD. We had a good day yesterday, and here we are today, opening up almost 5.5% higher on PDD, which we looked at. I say yesterday was a good day because we talked about this long upper shadow, and putting the bid on shows that we do have buyers at those levels. And so now we're actually above the high from yesterday on PDD, for instance. We're going to be testing the trend line. But this is exactly sort of the point of taking these trades, is that, again, it's coming out of a pretty nice low. And it's been a very nice break here. And it is a little different than before when we were trying to take the trade really back here in April, which it looks similar. But if you look at where we are now, we've gone deeper into this consolidation. This breakout means more, right? It may not be as fast as this breakout would have been coming off of the big rally, but over here we are coming from a lower point. And so more points will be put on in terms of a percent. Whether that adds up to a larger amount of value, it doesn't really matter. We're a couple months past that now. So here we are, trying to looking very good. If you look at the rest, things like JD are up. Everything is really doing well together. Even things like Bidu, which again has been sort of beat up since the Archegos. Again, here's back in April when we were looking for China trades. That did not happen. But here we are down here. These coming off of the low offer opportunities. And again, this is the trade that if this trend continues, and also put into purview again, China is all tech, and it's very much like our tech market that put a ton of points on last year. The question is, can it really put more on? Well, that's really where we're at right now. Can this trend actually go and sort of past that high? It doesn't really matter if it can or not. We're going to swing it, and if it does, it does. We'll swing it up there, right? Otherwise, it should look to be a nice start to the day. I still believe we're going to probably go bid right off the start like we did yesterday. Going to be make sure that we don't fall into any traps if you are looking to put new positions on. Again, I think everybody really just bought the dip from before, and here we are now coming to the all-time high again. Again, just right off the all-time high, about 0.5% to go across. Nasdaq has a little bit more points to put on because it, of course, tech having a deeper pullback. It looks good. It looks good for all-time high. I wouldn't say, I don't know if it's today, but it's certainly, it's that would be a pretty normal thing. The thing is, again, if you hit the all-time high, the points are going to come on very quickly. It's a question of if it happened today, then we have another 2 days this week of trading through all-time high. That would create a dynamic where we might get something like with the Dow when we hit the all-time high before. We put this big rally on because, again, we still had days left in the week. We just started the week off here. It could be something similar here. it's something to watch out for because it may call again for taking advantage of that sharp rally, but also being aware that that price is it's going to take profit from some big moves. It doesn't mean it's not going to continue to trend to the upside unless we continue to trend here. But it is important to be aware that putting points on too quickly are going to cause things to revert to a mean, which is where we look to transition. That's why we transition on trend lines because again, something's changing. If again you're either going to break through that trend line and now you're doing something completely different, new chart, or if you're going to get rejected, which is the usual case. Again, lines above or through the all-time high are usually getting some sort of resistance. We'll see how that works this time. Everything is still very value oriented, and the best place to look at that right now is on travel. So if you look at travel this morning, doing very well to start the day again, which from yesterday we put a lot of points on very quickly. Again, this was all basically at the open. Points got put on quick. We pulled back from there. This is very bullish. This is very bullish, opening up almost 1.5% higher on AAL, for instance. CCL with the old death boats. Again, just major speculation coming through here still. This is up over 1%. Look at this rally over here. Again, it's another chart where you have this pullback into this little bit of a bull flag area. Again, we've seen a lot of different areas on value have this sort of very short stop looking like a bull flag. It's not always a flag. The idea is here, though, that we took a bit of a brief moment, but we didn't lose points, and now we're breaking out of it. And if these highs are broken, this is where that retracement really starts to kick back in. If you guys remember when we first started to break out of those highs, you put a lot of points on and you move very quickly through that area. These two big areas here, we move very fast through that. Travel still has a long way to retrace back to that February high of 2020 before COVID actually started. It could be the attempt that actually breaks through finally. Again, we've done it a few times, but this could be the one here. And we're going to just continue to, we're going to take the view that we're swinging it up to that high. And if it breaks through the high, then we'll continue to push that position and or look to add on a position that may do better capturing this move if you're sort of getting close to 2 in the money, close of a delta to 1. Don't think that's really going to be a problem here. Again, the calls over here are just kind of... it always feels bad when there's just calls that the percents are all over the place because you're kind of buying junk, but it's not junk if you think it's going to go to the upside because of a value idea, but it's so short-term volatile that, oh well, whatever. What are you going to do? But travel doing very well this morning. So we'll see how those continue today. The forward trade as well. I talked about yesterday, this bouncing off the support. We talked about a little bit of sort of the old strategy, It is the baseline strategy, which is to have a daily candle, a red daily candle pull into support, and then you buy the next day on support. We already entered this trade, right? We already entered this trade back here, and we've continued to push through. But I talked about why we would hold through this support bounce here for the same reason, because we've looked at other charts recently, and if you're already in a position, if you ask yourself, would I buy this here? And if your answer is yes, then you keep holding what you already own, right? There's no sense of doing something different if you would be willing to buy it at that point. Well, I'd be willing to buy it here, of course, right? All the support, but I'm already in the position. Well, here we are coming off of a bounce pre-market up over 2%, right? It's the same sort of, again, it's the same sort of mentality no matter where it is. It doesn't matter if you're in position. This is where your opinion based on your positions can sometimes hurt you, because there will be times you're in a position and now you're trying to defend your position, or now you're looking at it differently because you've gained points. Maybe you're willing to be more risky. You're willing to buy at highs that if you weren't in the position, you'd never buy it. So you should have already sold. But this is a good example of just, we had a trend, we had a horizontal level here. We, of course, would be buying on the support if we saw this sort of setup. And so, again, just to point out that this chart is very different from the rest of the EVs. Tesla is just dog shit right now. It's just not getting anything, doesn't want to be touched. This chart has been very different, and it was really back here coming off this low at the beginning of May that I looked at this, and you could just tell how different it was, even with the gap downs. We just sort of removed that. We were already back to the high. You didn't lose any points here. If you see something like that, there has to be some strength there. And again, this is just really put points on. So pretty happy about that position and in the way that's trading. And again, the classification of it will stay the same. I'm still sort of considering it an EV, but it has all the benefits of being a value sort of blue chip company that we've seen do very well, right? And that's really what's holding it together. If you look at mega caps are doing very well at the start as well. We'll see how these continue to do. Obviously, this really makes up the Nasdaq average being up. The point here being that the trend continues. If you look across the market, we're going to load up the old AMC and GME charts here in a second. Retail is here. And as long as these tech charts continue to trend up and have nice pre-market opens, they're going to continue to get bought. And if they're not moving very fast out of this area, the quantity around these, again, sort of contract points of we're in the mid 120s right now, and we were at the low 120s, right? So if you look from here, right, 122 to now about 127, we've been here for quite some time, right? We've been here for almost a month. That's a lot of calls all being bought at basically one price point, right? And as this price moves through here, once it does get out of it, all of those all of a sudden become, obviously, they have intrinsic value and they need to be hedged. And this is where, at the same time, you're building momentum, underlying starts getting bought by market makers, and we do get a gamma move. And that's why we see a lot of times you get this very sharp breakout coming out of there, because you had a lot of calls being bought up, and they're just, the quantity of demand is going up so much, it's such a high point in one concentrated area that it's really that sort of launch pad idea. As you trade flat, it's going to cause a large upside move, which is what we've seen on Apple do a lot. And what we've seen on mega caps, because they really are just sort of when you talk about it, the mega caps together almost have more option contracts in terms of a monetary value than the rest of the market combined. Just the mega caps, right? The FANG stocks alone, because it's a ludicrous amount of money that's being put in there, mostly through hedges and everything else. But the quantity is going to get built up here. I would expect a move coming back up to the high here, and then that's when we get to test the all-time high if we break through the levels up here from the April local highs. But we'll see. And so I'm going to show you guys, been talking about retail is coming back. They're going to come back from crypto. If you didn't believe me before, I'm sure you probably believe me now. Obviously, this AMC has been making moves, right? And here you are at pre-market again. After a 20% day yesterday, it's now up another 10% this morning. If you don't think that retail is not buying this shit again, then you're looking at the wrong thing. This is retail, again, poking their head out. And it does mean a lot of different things, right? Because, again, you get momentum trades like this going, where there's only so much you can do here. And if you didn't really get in, again, I got back in here the day before earnings. I sold half. I've held the other half. Still standing on the other half because, again, God knows what's going to happen with retail buying this time. Now they've got crypto money. This is, an interesting sort of case because we've done this before, but this time it's completely different. It's not that it's completely different, but it is different in the sense that what really generated everything back here was a situation where hype was all concentrated at one point of time. It was so quick that the GME and everything caught on with meme stocks that it sort of took over everything in media. This time, there's not a peep about it. No one's saying anything, right? You can say, well, it's really the same thing in terms of price on the underlying before. Did the media really cause, did the talk really cause things? That's what caused it to happen in literally just like a day or two with all those big moves. This here is very technical, right? We can look at this and say, we can understand the move, right? It's not really that hard to tell that price consolidated in here and is now breaking back out. Yeah, the trends are really sharp and it's a lot of points. It's obviously a little bit of a meme stonk itself. So, of course, it's going to put more points on a percent scale because of larger spreads. But that's exactly what's here, and there is money to be made in these areas. Now, I've taken that trade. I have not taken the GME trade. I've already talked about it. That there's just so much supply here that even though this is going up, that there's nothing I'd want to do here, and we don't need to do anything here. It's just being aware that this is a signal, and it's a signal to the market that retail traders are coming back into the market, and it's not taking very much for them to push prices again. It's because they're willing to cause a very large spread. They don't care what the price is. They very much act like an institution that really wants to buy shares of a company, take over a board seat or something. They don't care the price. Just get me in. Give me it right now. They don't go, oh, I'm gonna wait to like wait for a pullback or some shit. They just keep buying it. They don't really care. This price move to the upside is not due to short, squeezing short sellers or anything like that, and it's still moving up, right? None of that is going on right now, right? It's not like, oh, well, the price is going up because of a big short squeeze. Look at where we are. We're already back up into some of the high, right? There is nothing like that happening here. There's literally nothing like that happening, and most people are still on the buy side here, which is why there's a significant supply problem where anyone that's buying this here you're literally just buying into people that have been trying to get out forever. That's the problem here, right? All of those astronauts that bought up here, in the 300s are right now licking their chops like, thank God I'm about to be saved. I bought at 300, 400. I might get saved, right? That kind of thing is not good. That's bad supply. When we talk about resistance, that's like you could draw 100 different lines on this chart and you could find big blocks of astronauts up there, right? Running out of air. So I'm not going to get involved here. That's not going to happen. But it is a sign that retail's here. And we've seen this on some of our charts recently, specifically through some of the tech tickers. That's what's happening. They're here. So you want to make some easy bucks, go buy some out of the money calls anywhere and sell them to some other fool. So just don't be the greater fool, right? And that's that. I mean, it's fun. I think it's fun. I don't know what there was a lot of, I think the media took a weird angle. I don't think institutions really gave a shit at all. And then the cultist did the weird thing where it's like hedge funds and banks are over leveraged and we're gonna fuck them by buying GameStop. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. No one even knows what the fuck is happening. It's just a meme, right? It's like institutions are aware of Wall Street bets, but it doesn't really matter. It's just a joke. But yeah, once you become a part of a meme, I guess you are the meme and you don't know it. So that still stands, right? Meme stocks are still meme stocks. Speculation is still speculation, and then gambling is still gambling, and most of that is still gambling, just like crypto is still gambling, right? It's a legal Ponzi scheme, right? Nothing wrong with buying it and trading it, but it doesn't have a use. It's like, we all understand it, right? The same thing is happening with a lot of those, right? Everyone knows that GameStop is fucking worthless, right? There's literally no point to what they do, and it doesn't even make sense. They're gonna have to change their whole thing anyway, right? That's not gonna do it for me. Not now. Not the last time was a lot of fun. This time, not doing it. AMC is fine. Looks a little more technical. In terms of other tickers, everything's quite literally just trading on the average. Nothing is down pre-market that we've looked at, and so that's a very nice sign again that everything remains green. Really, again, what we're looking for is if we can break through resistance today. So on the Dow, we have this high through here. It's most likely again today that you do this. I'm not sure what the move is thereafter. If again, we'll see if it's a low volume day again. Yesterday we had the lower volume, which causes some spread problems, and we don't end up doing much of anything. We'll see if that continues today. If there is volume, then I would say we should be able to break through some of this resistance. This is, again, it's weird that we are rated all-time highs, but just a week ago, people are freaking out. I don't know if people are freaking out, but I'm just going to assume that there are traders out there that are worried because we were at this low, and we're already back to all-time high in a week. I just want to put it back into perspective that it's so important that you buy dips here and that you're now not just looking to put positions on. Because if you're now just putting a position on, again, you're in a very fragile spot that, yes, you're going to all-time highs. But again, it's very hard to manage that trade, and you're gonna be watching it like a hawk, unsure, and you're gonna have a stop in price, a pullback, right? Those things happen. You're gonna open up 0.5% lower, right? And that's just how things work when you're at highs, right? Because you've put so many points on from the low up to here now. That's 3.5% in 1 week on a major index, and those sort of things again lead to a ton of points on the option side, but it also causes those options to really change the way in which they're priced. And so now you've gone from uh, possibly, let's say, like $2 on a contract, and now it's $4, right? And now you're buying at $4, and a lot of people are sitting on those $2 entries, right? So $200, $400. You're talking about a situation where some of those people are getting ready to transition, like me, right? And now you're the one buying from me, right? And that's exactly how we play things. Is that the reason why we swing trades and we transition them at areas that, again, are resistance levels, is because those are areas that people are going to be buying them. It's a heavy sell area, but it is also where people will be buying them. And so when we look to transition, you're having those people that are now just looking to buy now. They're just now buying, and now we're selling to them, right? That's exactly what we always want to look for. This is, again, you start to now add in retail. It's going to be a little bit hotter on the buy side. They're going to be willing to buy things that are, they're not even at the money. They're just some 10% out of the money sort of situations. Now you can start to play around with that a little bit. You start to look at, okay, if we're going to go through all-time highs, we're going to get a bit of a higher spread to the upside. We've already saw sort of yesterday, the bid was very hot off the open. You can see, okay, if I need a transition, if we have retail and everyone really buying right off the open, and then specifically Mondays being heavy volume, okay, maybe instead of transitioning on Friday to then put a weekend trade on, I'm going to hold that same trade over the weekend for a little extra risk and go sell it Monday morning as a bid comes in, take profit, and then go from there, maybe looking towards somewhere else and on Monday, or looking to wait to put a new position on to transition. Using some of these different ideas to just change the timeline just a little bit because of new sort of pieces that we put together is important. And then again, I've talked about it yesterday. Make sure that when you're looking to buy things now, you're looking at the price history because of the option, and also sort of how the supply is working there, the available liquidity, looking at open interest, looking at the volume, because now you're going to start to see a change, right? We are seeing things move a little differently. And again, coming to all-time high again, things start to they move differently, but the pricing is still consistent and constant. The volatility won't change. The underlying is changing, and so prices are going up, but the volatility will not be changing. You're going to be very careful. Again, when we talk about premiums, the IV, that implied volatility, is the premium level. That is the premium. Underlying can make it seem, again, like if you're buying on a dip here or something, or if you're now just buying to looking in as the momentum goes, the underlying is pushing the price up, but it's really the only thing that's going to change that price in terms of an intrinsic sort of situation is the IV. That's going to cause the actual value of the contract to change, even if the underlying went down or something, right? It's important if there is a contract that's been open for a month or something, right? That you are looking at that, because what can happen is that people will start to sell those contracts to take profit. And now you're in a situation where you have no implied volatility to gain because the chart's just trending. The underlying is not going up to beat that. You're losing your gamma because your contract's going from at the money to in the money. And so it's going from a gamma of 1, it's going down. So even as your contract goes in the money, you're not actually making money. That's not good. You want to buy something that has either a situation where you're going to be able to get a big underlying gain, or you're going to be able to get a big implied volatility move, which is you go from basically doing nothing to doing something, right? That's why we trade breaking out of consolidations. Price consolidates, volatility gets very low, And then as we take a bet betting that there's going to be higher volatility, so a move coming out of there. That's what a breakout is, right? A consolidation into a breakout. Volatility gets to a low because an equilibrium is reached. That tightening, then a breakout, which is a lot faster, right? That speed will cause volatility to increase. That's when the premium levels go up. Yes, the underlying goes up and pays you for it. But again, in terms of contracts themselves, it's all about the volatility. That volatility is going to start to increase, right? You're going to start to see that because there's going to be more demand. There's going to be a lot faster trades. People will be getting in and out of trades. Remember, retail, if you are buying retail heavy sort of areas, retail will not, they will get in and out of those contracts so fast that it looks like there's a lot of healthy trading. Wow, look at all the volume here. That could be the same doofus that just bought the same 100 contracts, sold them, bought them. That will start to bloat things, right? If there's a ton of volume, but the price has barely changed, that's a very telltale sign that people are just getting in and out of that contract super fast and nothing is changing. That's not good. You don't want to buy something that's like very heavily traded, but is not moving in price. It doesn't even make sense, right? That means that, again, the timing is way too fast and people are not holding long enough to actually put points on. That's when you have those option charts that they don't even look right compared to the underlying. Option chart should look the exact same as the underlying. Otherwise, there's something a little nefarious going on, and it's usually there's nothing you can do to take advantage of it. That's the reality. Sometimes you can have low volume tickers, but generally we avoid those anyway. So let's see what we get today. I'm very excited just to see what we do for bid off the open here again. I think yesterday was pretty exciting. Opening up higher again today, but not as high again. We opened a little damn high yesterday, so that's a little bit of a different situation. We've put more points on higher high, higher low. We're now doing it again, higher low. Let's see if we put the higher high in. The higher high is not very far away, so let's see what we get here. Don't have any trades to put on the open, which is nice. Sit here, manage. Pot stocks continue again. Pot stocks, obviously, retail fund zone. So everything I just said very much applies there. GOWG again being the go-to pot stock. ZS, by the way, has just continued off of that very high open. Now at 14.5. Urban as well, 12.5. A lot of retail stores continuing. There's really nothing to note there. They've just continued on that move. So FL, for instance, being that chart that we've really seen trend continuously through the sideways coming out of the sideways consolidation. Chinese tickers holding. You've got things like BB now coming off. That's up 2%. Snap continues. Again, the chart we've been looking at with sort of Twitter, Facebook, all putting moves on really off of the back of the Facebook move. Facebook, again, being the sharpest of the mega caps, a bit of a leader. Who knows why? You want to talk about fundamentals? There you go. Fundamentally, Facebook blows. Not in the money-making standpoint, but you know what I mean. Travel continued to do well. Win is very much just hanging out. We'll see how that move continues. It was at about 0.5%. We'll see if those ticks come in. Gonna keep our eye on, again, the Viacom situation. That's up 1%. Mega caps continue to do well. BA still continuing off of yesterday's big move and Friday's big move. Chinese tickers are holding here. Gold continue to do well, so continue to push our position there. Forward now to 3.5. Great. Very nice move. Look at this bid here. Again, these candles are, when you talk about Ford built tough, these candles are built different. That's for sure. Those are some electric candles right there. Little innuendo to Ford F-150 EV. Chart's being, I mean, this chart is so technical looking. The way we came off support and everything, doesn't even look like natural trading. Bunch of bots, just a bunch of bots. Okay. See, reaching a little bit of a standstill, waiting for volume. Definitely waiting for volume again today. Well, we'll see as we get through here towards that 10 o'clock how that has changed, and if whether or not it looks like 10 o'clock we're about to put a bunch of orders in. FL now 4%, so retail stores are really picking up again, which is nice. Definitely nice, because when we talk about this move, we got a little antsy in here. Again, the putting points on too quickly, but the spread just being too high. Too much trading going on when there doesn't need to be. Half the problem with the value charts is that if any volatility is added, they start to get a little bit too stir crazy, and you start to get a little bit too much movement, right? Coming back to the high, we'll see what this does. Again, keep in mind that these points being put on so quick can cause problems. Look at this very nice finessed move here on Urban, right between the horizontal and the trend line here. Oofa. Lines matter. We talked about it down here. Earnings came through. Big move. Who would have thought that retail stores would be making money when everything says they're making money when we look at economic data? We just got retail stores on the other Friday. and then we sold. We did the same thing back here we talked about, which is when I was just putting the charts out for retail stores, that we got the numbers and prices came down. The numbers were great. They were phenomenal. They came down and then we put a big move on. Right? Who knows? Who knows? F now over 4. The BB now at 4. Here you go. I wonder who. Who do you think it is? TCS coming off that support. Let's see if this starts to get moving. Again, we had a little bit of a slow day to start after I posted this chart. Yesterday's candles, well, I mean, who knows what that candle is yesterday? A little ominous, but coming off that now, that looks pretty good. Gold, oh god, we'll see. I'm not gonna say anything yet, but we are pretty close to. Again, we broke out of this, but now we look like we're about to do another one of these here. Big move. I'm just gonna talk about Bitcoin real quick. Bitcoin coming out of the low. We did see it cross over what we were looking at through here. I'm gonna put on the 2 hour, but here we are. This could possibly be a nice pullback into the support. Again, you break through the resistance, you pull back, bounce on it as support, and then you continue to the upside. So we have broken this trend line, but again, there needs to be a little bit of an error there. That may be a rejection. It's not perfect, right? So that may be a rejection. We'll just need to see how this candle continues. This, again, is a little bit of a story with the gold side. So keep that in mind that this is doing phenomenally well. Look at this insane candle here on the 2 hour. That's a lot of volatility that just came in this morning. So we'll have to see what exactly is. This is a lot of trading in here, which tells me that the old JP Morgan is very active this morning. So yeah, this is 8 o'clock right here. That's a lot of activity. JP Morgan owned about 75% of the goddamn market. So yeah, there you go. So we'll see what that is. And if you didn't see, I posted in the channel some of the quotes from the CEOs of the big banks. They're not going to touch it. They're not going to touch it. If their clients want, some of the banks have offered services for clients to buy crypto, but institutions have not gotten involved in crypto themselves. Now you have things like Goldman has a desk and stuff. It's bullshit. They don't really own it, right? They're speculating and doing arbitrage. That's completely different, right? And then I think the biggest quote from in there is from Moynihan, chief of BOFA, said that we have still, and now this again is over 10 years since blockchain came out. Over those 10 years, they still have not found a use for it. If Bank of America can't find a use for blockchain over 10 years and can't find a way that anyone could use it or make money from it, then there's probably not something there. And I think that might scare a little bit of people because that's turned into quite the thing and has been for a while that blockchain is going to be again, we use it for a lot of the different NFT things, a lot of, again, all the cryptos built on that platform. Does it really matter though? Couldn't you just put it on just, again, look how we trade stocks, look how currencies trade. Those aren't on blockchain. They get traded the same way. They're just speculative assets, right? This is again where things get, is it a currency? Blockchain for currencies? Or what about, don't we want, imagine if your dollar value changed every single day. You went to buy a coffee, one day it's $3, the next day it's $20. Wouldn't that suck? That's why centralized currencies are kind of nice, right? They get regulated. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I think some of those comments are striking, and I don't think that they'll get reported on very much. Again, that's from Financial Times, so you're not going to get that in a headline. But when the biggest chiefs in the banking world say that type of thing, I mean, it's kind of hard to ignore. Those people will do anything to make money. And if there's value in something, then they'll fucking make sure that they get paid for it by investing in it. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But again, I'm not touching crypto still. I exited. I'm not touching it. Want to be very careful about sort of the ideology and using a bias of I think it's good, but it's just it's not gonna make us money right now, I don't think. BB is just gone. This is so much fun. I love when retail is happy. I love when retail is just having a good time, having a fucking ball this morning. Oh, I miss this stuff, guys. Oh, Jesus. All right, where are we on the GameStop? 12. We have to be, again, think back to when we were doing this back in January and then pushing into February. Some of these moves, really think back to how some of that operated and in the way in which things moved. Listen, you can this is the whole greater fool dynamic, right? As long as you're not the greater fool, which is very hard here. There are a lot of other fools, and we just started this again. You can get in and out of a position very quick. You can just scalp this thing intraday every single day, get out by the end of the day, right? This is, you just, all morning, you're just buying, selling, make 30% here, 100% there, 40% here, and you're just in and out, right? It's, some of that shit's expensive, right? When we saw GameStop, you were buying, you got, for some of the calls that were like 50% out, that shit cost like, it was costing more than like fucking Amazon calls that were at the money. That shit was expensive. You could still buy it though and flip it in fucking 10 minutes and make 100% on it though. So what am I reading here? GameStop announces it's building an NFT platform on Ethereum. Good for them. Yikes. That's not the reason what's going on. It's just this is across the market again. Retail's been waking up out of hibernation for a little bit now. This is, again, you can see how GameStop is a bunch of bullshit. Making up random, that's going to definitely make them enough money to rationalize the 13 billion market cap. Not going to try to get too, here you go. So here you go. Here's the other problem. You know what happens when retail gets going? Volatility gets thrown into the market. Volatility gets thrown in. This is where we need to be very careful that we have not looked at the spot VIX at all because this is the dumbest looking chart I've ever seen in my life. But I did look at it last night. Put a couple short-term patterns on there because we are coming out of a downtrend, get some bullish candles across the board. Start to look at some of these, could have some upside here. Come off the low. You're introducing volatility. This is where the S&P does not need to go down for volatility to increase, which is about literally 100% of the time. It just moves with the S&P. or it just goes down. Gotta be very careful. Get a little volatility in here. And then you get the memers that are also trading volatility because they don't actually understand what the hell this is. And so they'll start to buy it because they think if they buy it, it'll move. That's not how this works at all. This does not move based on people buying it. But I mean, the only way it works is, again, if there's hedges and the speculation against the equity market causes this to move. Because it causes the equity market to move, it doesn't directly affect it. But we'll see. Got a lot of volatility this morning. VNet just popped up out of nowhere. Spread. I mean, again, these tech companies that have been dog shit, they're coming out of the low. Why? Because retail's waking up. Retail's waking up. The triple D chart. How much is that? Okay, we got a little bit of ways to go. This one probably should get transitions here very soon. All right. Gotta get ready for some transitions. I'm gonna probably use some transitions today, since we see some of the volatility coming in from retail, pushing prices up very quickly. You get points very quick. Don't leave it on the table. Okay, win is now, we're back to 131.20. We'll see if we break through this again today. We're sitting at it. Viacom possibly coming out of that consolidation short term. We'll see if the ARC. We'll see if ARC gets flows. That's not really retail specific. That'll be towards the June monthly date for the ARC charts. Because again, those gamma moves will not happen until 1 month from the largest quantity of calls. So those have a little bit of time. Yeah, I think we're probably going to chill on some of the value tickers today. We'll see what happens at 10 o'clock. We got 15 minutes at 10 o'clock. We'll see what happens because I think we are going to get some interesting moves that we have not seen recently. A little bit of game theory from the big boys, because if I'm on a prop desk right now, they're obviously thinking like the same thing I've been saying of, okay, retail's coming back. We just dropped $1 trillion of crypto. That's $1 trillion that's about to enter shitty calls and buying shit shares. Prop desk are definitely putting the game theory on right now and getting ready to do some interesting things. So around 10 o'clock, I think we should be watching for, I mean, who knows what. I want to be very careful around here, though. That's just a significant amount of. We're just adding volatility. No one's selling here, for instance, right? Again, we're at break even on the day now. No one's selling here, but it's a lot of volatility. Can definitely cause us to have a stop day. Absolutely. And again, I posted an absolute shit ton of bearish short-term patterns. We talked about it. You could definitely have a day that we stop, and then we continue tomorrow. We get a whip. There's gonna be a lot of interesting things at possibilities at least. I'm trying to remember back that first day we had that big volatile day. DD is right here, 32.69. I have the large range. The local high back here in March. 32.69. A little over 29 is, I mean, you can. Nah, not really. Not really for resistance. There's like a little bit of support there, but it's not really a resistance. So, really, the thing here is the trend. I would say is sort of the thing in here. Again, I don't think this stops. What I was saying here is that, I would say it's just going to continue to trend up to the resistance here. But the thing is here is that this top trend line on the move, see how this is tightening in here? You start to get this situation where it needs to now, here to make this work is you're going to need to rally even, sharper here, which a chart like this, it needs to consolidate this move here. So it needs to take a bit of a stop, right? So have like a bit of a stop day to then get going again so that you can be on this side of the trend line. Possibly it can just burst through right now and then climb right through, but this sort of tightening here usually is going to lead from this uptrend into have a stop day, come outside the trend line, then continue. So just keep my eye on it to transition. It's like 15% of the next resistance. I mean, I don't think it's going to put 15% on a one day. With retail, it could, but that also, again, you have to be very concerned that if the volatility picks up in such a way that the volatility is not on your chart or your position, then that's going to eat away at your volatility. Volatility is great for options if it went from low volatility to high volatility, but if it's already been making the move, you're not really gaining anything. Not really, not anything. All right. Let's see. These moves are so funny. God. AMC is the best. Let's see. That looks very good though. Viacom, let's go. Back to 110. Back to 105. This would be a nice move, very much like our other bull flag looking moves. This is not really even that many points again. This is like 5% to here. You've got a lot of I hate this trend line, but you've got a lot of different things that can go on in here. Again, big media consolidations, which we sort of saw very early. We saw something happening in that sector very early on, and now look, we've had more deals this year between media mergers than uh, I don't know in a long time. AT&T and Discovery with like 125 billion tied up. MGM being bought by Amazon. Who's next? Who's next? All right, yeah, we're hanging out now. We're gonna be hanging out until 10 o'clock or so. We'll see what gets dropped on us. Retail stores continue to do very well. Let's take a look at travel. See how this move is going. Maybe Death Mode's gonna get some nice gamma push. A little out of the money's push this bad boy up. Bit of a stop. PayPal, very nice move so far. About 1%. Continuing. Trend is very, I don't know, very interesting looking. Not much intraday movement so far. Continuing the trend very slow. Yeah, retail is just going wild. Going wild. Or it's just, again, could be some game theory. This may just be the big boys just randomly buying shit to get them to come buy their now 10% higher positions. And then they just dump it all on them slowly so that the price doesn't go down. Keep that in mind because they are all long GameStop, for instance. They've all been long GameStop since the damn start of it. Everyone kept acting like everyone was short against it. Baloney. There's like 400% owned shares. Doesn't even make sense. ZS got rejected on the 200, which is very cute again. Very strong level. Ford gets stopped at that high again, but when you look at this has been a level that's been rejected at quite a bit before. Pretty strong level in there. Let me throw the old liner in there. There you go. Trying to process some clean energy ideas right now. Some of those, if they got a little bit of demand, would move probably very sharply. They're just so bad right now. Everything looks very good. Let's let's look at our ELY chart on the weekly log. Still trading on our trend line this week, putting another new high on again. Higher low, higher high. We continue on the trend line. Again, we basically have come back into the trend line every single week. So, depending on your positions here, how you're trading these sort of things, you got to always be careful of your transition sort of points. There's nothing wrong with just pushing a contract as it's got a delta of 1 and you're not gaining an exponential anymore. You've already gained all the exponential. And so, again, when your delta is 1, you're making the exact same as you would have as if you had a share. That price move will be 1-to-1. So if it makes 10% on the underlying, you'll make another 10% on your contract. That's it. Maybe you made 100% already on your contract because it had an exponential before, but so it is okay to do that and keep pushing, but almost always it's better just to take profit on that and then buy new contracts so you can get the exponential again. If you do think it'll continue at that pace, and you know that's up to personal decision. So some of these are close. Since we did buy on this pullback through here, it's close. I'm not sure if the volatility right now makes it a good time. Again, the volatility will give it a little bit more. Thinking about that a little bit. We'll see. Look, chart looks very nice. Chart looks very nice. On the daily, it's kind of hard to look at, but again, why I looked at it on the weekly, this is just it's hard to. I mean, look at these candles. What? Like, yikes! That's a weekly chart if I've ever seen one. Ay ay ay. Coming into 10 o'clock. Are the big boys gonna buy, or are they the sellers? Don't even know if this matters. I don't think anyone cares. Ford heading to 5. Watching that for transition up big. Yeah, EOY is awesome. It's a great chart. The trades that we were taking before, a little slower. This is a lot faster now. A lot of points very quickly on so many charts. Ford now 5%. That's gonna get kicked. That's right there is gonna get cooking. If that breaks through, see ya. See ya. I mean, that's another 6% between those levels, and I'm pretty sure we move through that quick. I'm pretty sure we move through this quick. Yep. Look at every time we've moved through that level from the 13.5 up to the 14.5 area, we move through there instantly. 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 See ya. We'll see if it breaks. Last time we didn't because we had a trend line with it. And things happened in March. See, it's getting held for now. Definitely like to get some more points on that. Those are already at 100, but there is a little bit of room. There is some room there to put volatility on because I don't think any volatility is being priced to go through there, which is, I mean, it makes sense, but there's a lot of selling there. But All right, how are we doing on some of the... That doesn't even look right. This AMD candle is... What the hell's that? We'll see if it retails buying calls in here or not. That could be... Look at the other charts. Semis. TSM were doing very well off the start. You can tell how different these charts look. Not as crowded. Interesting. AMD not moving is very weird looking, considering that chart has moved to the downside very quickly, over and over. So we're gonna have a little bit of a stop day on the average, and it does look from that engulfing sort of line day yesterday. Which is not a problem for our long positions, because today is risk day. Today we've got all the risk boys out. And it's a cute candle from the NASDAQ, but definitely another inside. I mean, that's an inside day right there. It's going to be a stop. Let's... 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. The NLI has started off well. Okay, let's see. Put this on the 5-minute. I think some of the question here is that we see a ton of volatility from retail this morning, even coming from pre-market. I think the question is here is, do you turn on the old, not the old, but do you turn on the momentum trades? Do you get the momentum trades going back? Again, we've turned into this longer term focus, and we've seen the whole market over the last month just trade long term. Do you turn on the jets and start doing some momentum trades right here? Which, again, when you're momentum trading, it's not like you're building a portfolio, a position. You're just buying shit to sell it. You're looking to sell it immediately after the move comes. So let's see if they're gonna, maybe they're gonna be the ones selling some of this shit into retail today, at least. Again, for the momentum trade idea, because again, this has been happening already. It's not like today's the first day. We've been seeing it happen. Today really is a nice confirmation, the culmination of the last week or so of retail buying. Win now at 1.5. We did test this a couple times. This looks like the moment in which you would make a decision to either go to the upside or the downside. So looks very good. But the rest of travel continues. So team, nice day so far. Team and DNLI both coming off very nicely. Pretty straightforward trades right off a level. Right off a level. That chart looks terrible on 5-minute, but who needs it? This fucking chart. Looks like BGFV is about to do another breakout from this consolidation. God, this chart is so funny. What a funny chart. See if OSTK gets out of there. Nice candle from Ford there on the support. Now support. Oh, here you go. Mentioned CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike, a nice retail favorite. We've been all over that. Again, one of the, I think it was in the top 5 most points put on during 2020. Came from the low. We talked about it back here when it was in the low. We talked about it when retail would be picking up. It's in the upper end of the range. We'll see if that gets rejected here. Some of these charts are in kind of very strange positions for what's happening right now, because some of them are coming right up into their resistance that I don't know if anyone's really willing to push it through there. Home builders, we continue. So from our trade back here last Friday at the low, we've continued. It's been very nice so far. It's been kind of quiet, sort of quiet, but it's definitely been correct so far. So when it comes down to it, I mean, that's all that matters. It's gone one way and you haven't had to do anything. So that's a very nice trade so far. That, again, when you talk about being able to buy at a low, that's the best damn thing you can do. Now, timing is never, you never really know the timing, right? And if you look at the futures chart, people are like, well, the futures are down. We were up, but now they're down. Why are those damn equities still going up? Really makes you think, doesn't it? Maybe the us on the equity side knows something that the future side doesn't, you know? Maybe we're just better at it. We're just better. We just know what we're doing. So DHI and NAIL were the charts I took on. There you go. 5% on the individual ticker and then 10% on the 3x leverage. Those two are pretty similar in terms of options, in terms of the amount you gain, because again, you gain a little bit more for taking the risk of an individual ticker, but then the leverage tickers obviously offer some interesting dynamics. Really, all it amounts to is it's literally the word leverage. You're not really getting more points gained. You're actually just being able to put less money in. And when you sell, you're profiting off of the difference. You still need to sort of keep in mind that 3x is kind of, it's not really there. You're not really 3xing your position. It's 3xing the leverage of your option position, really, when it comes down to it on the option side. So your premium, you may be paying only $2 or something for the contract. That does not mean that it's now worth $6, and when you take profit, you'll get all of that. It doesn't really add up to much, so even that is pretty equal to the DHI position here, the NAIL, the 3x ETF. So a lot of times you'll see that. Things like I'll trade like, if you look at the Qs and then you have things like QLD or the Dow with UDOW, right? Those type of things. It's a little bit more consistent on the big indice side of things with those ETFs, the leverage ETFs, that those will correctly move on the options a little bit better. That if it's 2x, then you will be gaining 2x because you're taking on 2 times the risk. On some of these other ones, you're just gaining leverage. Literally, you're buying for $1 instead of $2, and you get to hold a larger position. It's a little finicky, BB's going to the moon. BlackBerry introduced a new electric vehicle that you can watch the new BlackBerry television service. They've created their own movies. And you can smoke weed and look at your NFTs on the built-in BlackBerry phone that's in the steering wheel of the EV. Okay, F is going, so see you later, F. PCS, we're finally getting going here. Come on. Very slow. Very slow. What are these charts doing? So again, our clean energy stuff, or just that whole sector, it's so hard to tell what's happening there. Now when we throw in the wrinkle of retail, things like solar, it's just can't tell. You know, it's at a very, very low point, and it's doing a little bit of the bull flag situation on some of the charts, but that's such a short-term trade. I don't think you should be short-term trading big idea focused sort of charts. Snap, now we're at 3.5. That looks like it's going to the 63.5 resistance there. That's gonna be, let's see, that's another 3.5% today. Looks like it's gonna get up there, so that'll be a pretty big day. 6.5% gain today on Snap at 3.5% now, but looks like it's gonna double that. SKT, we continue. Looks like we're gonna break that high as well. When we did get through the level, now we're heading to the upside. That again looks like it's going to break the high from yesterday, and we're in open territory. These things can get running very quick on the travel side, so that's why we're holding those positions, because there's not a good way to tell when you get out of them other than, well, it puts a lot of points on. We're not gonna, this is not what we're taking. We're not here for the small beans. I'm not here for the can of beans. I'm here for the chili. I don't know what the hell that means, but where, hold on. I think I'm missing a ticker on the new list. All right. F now at 1360. See, we moved through this pretty quick. We're moving through here pretty quick. Moving through pretty quick. Oh, feels good, doesn't it? Good thing we looked at that chart differently. Oh, I almost did one of the bias situations. No, it's just an EV. EVs suck right now. Well, there you go. Built different. Oh, that feels good. Nice. Nice gain. That's a lot of points right there. That's a lot of points. Oofa. Oofa. That position just doubled today. Completely doubled. Completely doubled from back here. 10% on the underlying. 6.5, almost 7 now today. Doubled it. Value hanging out while tech does all kinds of interesting things. Even when you look at the Nasdaq, it's completely break even. But again, it's these individual tickers that we're trading on their velocity that we're getting all the points. All the points. What am I looking at here? Okay, yeah. So VLDR is at 3. Input. In terms of these moves here, I have no clue. So I haven't really mentioned it. Some of these moves are question marks to me. Earnings come through and we start to sell, get stopped. This is PDD. The other charts haven't moved, but this is all earnings from PDD. I'm not exactly sure. Get stopped out at the level. If it came down to, if it comes down to support, I'd buy it. If it breaks back down, if it breaks above the trend line, then I'll buy it again. I don't know if, well, today is really the day you'd actually want to do it. This is going to be a wacky, very wacky candle here. Because I think you sold. Some people are just taking profit. This is going to be a very strange looking whip here on PDD. That's going to be a strange candle. That daily's not going to look pretty. Yeah, I'm fine with taking the trade down here. Worst case scenario, you have to go down a little bit further. The support. That looks like a little bit of a spread issue, and the other Chinese stickers look great, so that's that. Field DR, very nice move so far. It's a lot of points. That's definitely some retail. I did put the old IBKR chart on from last night, or from yesterday, I mean. It's at a very nice spot. In terms of upside, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward swing trade, so this is low volume, so it is a little different than other trades, but it does fall in line with a lot of our tertiary financial sort of sector ideas, so very good. Okay, the average is not going to move today, which is, again, on days that the average doesn't do anything, we see our individual positions that we're tracking do just a ton of moves, right? This is kind of the day that you hunt, because the average does nothing, but positions are moving all over the damn place. We are whipping a little bit off the open, but this is not really a whip saw because there's barely any points lost or gained here. It's just kind of chilling. We see so much movement today that we have to be involved somehow. So this is where transition, something needs to be done. Some of these charts are just putting a ton of points on. I mean, TCS is now at 5.5. We were just looking at that, and it was break even. And some of this is, we're in the midst of the old retail volatility. It just causes volatility everywhere. And here's your spot VIX, giving you nothing. Good job. That's helpful. To the upside. To the upside we go. Now, again, the question is with mega caps. The only thing that matters in terms of the average moving are mega caps. The mega caps go up, average goes up. These things are not specifically going to happen from retail until June, the monthlies. For the options, for instance, making a move. So this is just the usual orders. Win. Here you go. Winning. Feels good. Feels good. These are the trades. Again, positioning our portfolio correctly has been the most important thing because it sets us up for a nice long-term situation. But you gotta love the risk trades that you get nice big swing trades, put a bunch of points on your options. Those are the ones, right? Those are the ones that you make the money very quickly. What the trading's for. travel getting going very nicely. Small caps. Looks like we're about to break through the level here. We were here yesterday. If this is again a big sort of question is the dynamic between the larger cap sizing and the small caps. We've seen so much shift to blue chips, but when speculation comes through, you start to again, small caps can put a larger percent gain on than a large cap, right? Apple moving 1% is like 10% on one of the small cap charts, right? In terms of a ratio. This is where if we are entering a little bit of a momentum and speculation period here, in the short term, that's why I posted the small cap chart. Small caps are a great area to go put speculative trades on. You can have a chart go put 20% on in a week, and it's nothing. Barely any money. So this is an area, again, that's why we saw so much action before. Because we saw that rotation happening, right? As soon as the rotation started, the most points were put on here because that's what the bet was. Speculation was this value trade. So that's why we're looking for it again, because speculation comes through. Small caps are an easy target. Push points very quickly. Doesn't take much money. Keep our eye on that if that breaks through here, because again, we've seen some interesting days and interesting weeks on small caps. Put together quite a chain of gains. eBay working through the levels in here, right in the midst. Okay, BA continues. Waiting on Amazon on that level. We're waiting on really all the mega caps to get through the resistance still. Everything is on. Right on the resistance. Okay, I think retail's slowing down a little bit. Slowing down. Board at 1371, 1372. Almost about halfway through the 1347 and 1430 level, so it's already moved. I guess it's about a third of the way through. It is above the March high, which is, again, the sign that it's going to keep going here. Phenomenal trade. Phenomenal. Taking the trade there is definitely one of the better entries we've seen recently. In terms of not even buying on a pullback, just fucking buying and not thinking about it. Or, I mean, thinking about it, but not going, well, it's already been going up, so I'm not going to buy it. That's not how things work. Not chasing momentum in that position. Now the momentum traders are chasing. And we're going to dump it on them. I'm going to sell it to them. I'm going to get paid. Well deserved. Yeah, nothing else is moving. So I love these days where nothing happens. We're going to get some push from some of that, but it's really, again, we're just waiting for megas. Here, give me one moment, guys. All right, we're getting cooking again. We are cooking again. Amazon. So Amazon's heading back up to 32.75. We'll see if we break through this time. Again, if it does break, it's going to put points on very quick. The next level above that is 33.06. So that is one of the megas that we're really looking to see put the points through. Everything else is done very well. Google just continuing to, this chart's just insane. Just insane. It was already insane over here when they were doing buybacks, and now this rally out of here is just something else for sure. Again, from when we bought those two dips from when we bought mega caps they've paid a few times over, that's for sure. Let's see this intraday candle here. Apple very slow to start the day, and we saw it very slow yesterday. See if we just, I don't know if there's so much of a, feel like we're just gonna have to gap over this level like we did back over here. Cinco de Mayo. How much was that? That was 2% from the open. Gonna need some gaps. Gonna need some gaps on this chart. This thing is stuck. Completely stuck. We're off the low, but it's completely stuck. That might be a gap tomorrow. If this may intraday put the moves on because we're getting the bid right now. It may put it on, but it does not look very confident. On that side, at least. That may be a gap this week. That may be a gap. Which again is about 1.5% up to that next level. Twitter continuing. Looks very nice. So Snap, Twitter, Facebook. Very nice. Again, Twitter is heading back up to the 62 area, and then shit's gonna go back to the normal swinging back and forth. We'll see what happens in there, but it's just retracing. There, again, if you go look, there's not as many points in there as you think, because the way it's retracing. So you compare these, it's not like this exact same move is happening on Snap, for instance, right? It's not like Twitter's making more in this exact same move because it's at a lower point. That's not actually happening, and so they're basically all the same trade, right? Which is why we're just clumping them together, even though there's that big gap down. So this trade on Facebook is making me significantly more than the Snap trade, for instance, and then that's making more than the Twitter. So, again, some of these things are the sizing definitely matters. The large caps just are paying more still. So mega caps are paying more, at least. Even though it's a trade that everyone's in. Not really sure. I mean, I know, but it's just, that's just where we are. Lincoln plug. What are we doing? Retail's buying Blink. I think we're gonna probably watch a lot of these. You know, here's another thing. You know, we haven't talked about a little bit. The FOMO problem. That's really what the whole retail momentum trading dynamic is again, is just the fear of missing out. Really important that for us, that since we, especially if you're, you know, I look at everything. I can't trade everything, right? There's thousands of tickers, and every single day there's going to be thousands that are to the upside, right? Some with big moves. You can't trade all of them. It's impossible. You're not gonna be able to trade everything, and you don't even want to, right? There are going to be things that we need to just watch blow by us. They're going to just go. They're going to be putting a ton of points on, but we need to realize that there are charts out there that we just can't touch, right? And there's nothing we can do about it, especially if they're coming off significant lows, and have dynamics that we know are very specific to major speculation and straight up gambling by retail traders that could be in and out of the trade. There could be traps set up by big institutions that have been buying this shit up, which is what a lot of these sort of meme stocks have is that there's these big long positions by hedge funds or institutions that are just straight up waiting for retail to start buying them, and they'll just sell it, right? They'll sell it on them, and then they'll get to split the difference between it, make some profit. So some of these things like Blink, Plug, we were trading them significantly in 2020. I'm watching Plug blow by right now, right? It's at 6%. Retail's buying it, but I'm okay with that for right now, right? If there's something that we can trade on, then we'll trade on it, right? But for now, I'm going to let it blow by me. See you later, because I'm doing well enough, right? And there's no way to do everything. And especially if it just randomly starts to happen and it's not something, a good way to put it is that if you put together all of the ideas that have come up, and we've taken trades that are really significant, right? You look at any of these most recent things like Ford, the travel sector. Look at the way we've sort of developed some of the ideas that have led to technical moves. These trades have paid off very well, and we've been doing very well at preempting moves, seeing how sectors may be predicting a move. These things are good signs that you're on the right path. You don't need to. It's not like you have to do more. That's already a lot. It's already enough, right? So it's important that we don't overreach, and then all of a sudden something starts to happen, and you feel like you have to do it too, right? Just because it's like a cool thing that everyone's doing, you're already doing a cool thing, right? You already make money. That's some advice for myself. So some of these things are like, ooh, maybe I can go get. It's like the space move, right? Here's a good example. I talked about over here that I wasn't going to touch space, right? And now it's up. Look at how much it's up from the low, right? It's up 60%. We were going to trade space. Remember? Back over here? We were going to trade space. And then I got shit on. And then, oh, here we go. Good news, right? You could have bought this here, sure. But there's just nothing to be done here. It's just random. It came out, news traded, momentum traded, now it gapped up, right? That was it. There's no trading actually happening in here. Just all gaps. Just gaps. That maybe a few people in the long positions, but the long positions lost all this. They're still down, right? That's specifically one you do not want to have FOMO for. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's one trade. It's about being consistent and disciplined over all the trades, right? Even though I do say it only takes one trade, but that's not the one trade right there. That's definitely not the one trade. That's the one trade you lost on. Maybe now you're back to break even on that chart. But that chart's fucked. Full scuffed. Okay. About to go further to the upside, it looks. Definitely gonna be an interesting close. in the sense that a lot of these tickers got pushed up. Are they going to hold it all day? Probably not. Probably not. All right, SKT's about to cross that high. Win is still at the high. Whoops. All right, so we hang out. AMC and Ford are the most active today so far. Sense. Europe break even on the day. Bond market untouched. No one's doing anything. Cryptos still under 40. Bitcoin still under 40. Currency market, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Very sideways day so far, besides the volatility on the retail front. Any good trading view idea threads? Oh, God. Ford ideas. Ford down to 12. Okay, well, that's already wrong. Nice try. That was posted 22 hours ago. That was really bad timing. If he just waited till this morning to possibly think about posting something, he would have saved himself. But yep, that did not work. Not down to 12. Tesla, another bullish wave is coming. Uh-oh, don't Elliot wave me. We've got the old inverse head and shoulders on Tesla, he says. It's going to 665. He says thank you and good luck. See? I already don't trust him. There is no luck in trading. I mean, there is, I guess, if you gap up. And then unlucky if it gaps down. What am I looking at here? What is this? Okay. Why is this shoulder longer than this one? Even though there's only 3 candles in there. High probability trade setup. Very good technical setup, mate. Okay. I don't like it. Trade idea. Dixie. Oh, God. Oh, God. This is ugly. This is just what I needed this morning. Oh, yes. This is the ugly shit I come on here for. Look for long setup. We're going to long the Dixie now. Do you know how the Dixie works? I don't think you actually understand. What are we looking at? This is a 4-hour. Oofa. I mean, you might be right. But I have no idea what the hell I'm looking at here. That's why I love it. Good stuff, dude. That's a nice one right there. What's it at right now? Oh, he's right so far. He's right so far. Nice one. Okay. How are we on timing with the long weekend? It shouldn't change anything. Shouldn't matter. Not matter. Sometimes we see lower volume around holidays, but we've already seen sort of lower volume anyway, and so Mondays are. I guess it does change up the Monday dynamic, but that shouldn't. It's really about the start of a week dynamic, not specifically a Monday. So, um, this sort of situation, it doesn't really matter. I think the biggest times that holidays matter are when there's something actually happening. There's some move that's happening, a momentum move. Like especially when you're like December's like the best example. Coming into that holiday with sort of all of your end of December holidays and then going into the new year, that time, if that's during a momentum traded sort of time, you get that weird sort of thing happens that you have lower volume. Um, that if there is momentum, the spread is just kind of all whacked. But everyone knows that if it's the holidays, that everyone just kind of hangs out and doesn't do anything. So I think that one sell off after a long weekend last year still haunts me. Yeah, I mean that shit. It doesn't matter if it's a holiday, right? Those things will happen no matter what. So no one's gonna be like, oh well, now it's time. Nothing's gonna change. Like what's gonna change? Like more hot dogs are gonna be eaten. So I mean, you want to do some fundamentals, maybe go long, catch up or something. You know, I don't think there's nothing here that matters on that front. I would say the most so like again so like that December and New Year's thing, and then the ones that really matter are when there's bond holidays and like the bond market's closed or something. Those are the ones that do change up flows because you'll have the equity market open and then the bond market's closed. Those kind of holidays are sometimes the ones that you'll see that the flow is completely different because people are no longer selling uh, treasuries to go buy equity, and so you'll get that like what the hell's happening, and things can turn into selling and or buying, but no problem. But who knows? I mean, it's the start of a new month. Tuesday will be June 1st. We'll see. You never know. Is June the month? Uh-oh. Everyone remember June 1st. It was the day the market crashed. It was the end of it all. We still have to get through this week. If we're an all-time high, that's okay. Here's the way to put it, right? If on Friday, so right now, we get into all-time high by Friday, then maybe you take profit. Shouldn't you should be happy that we gained through the high. It's like, God damn it, we lost 1% today. And then it's like the week before we gained 5%. Like, well, I hate to see it go down. That's my favorite thing. I'll look at Bloomberg and it'll be like equities are up today as inflation fears go down, and then the next day it'll be like equity market's down because inflation fears are up. It's like, and then it's always like, oh no, the equity market's down, and then the next day it's the equity market's trading through all-time highs so fast right now. And then the next day, we are down so much from the high. It's crazy. It's bloody out here. Like, what are we doing? We're like, where we are right now? This shit's, we're down 0.5% from the high. Now we got retail buying. Like, the best part is that it's so silly to think about, right? Like, we see retail traders buying right now, which there's nothing wrong with that, right? But it's so funny that they're buying at the all-time high. They could have came in 2 months ago, bought it 10% lower. They didn't give a shit. It's just like one of the funny dynamics that people just fucking they don't care where the price is. They don't think about it like that. Every day matters. It's the way they feel that day. That's all that matters. Just how does it feel? It's not, well, what's the price? You tell someone the price, they're like, okay, but how's it feel? How's it feel out there? Like, I mean, I don't know. It feels pretty good. But it's, the perspective from where you've entered. It's scary to go enter. It's not scary if you just fucking randomly, everyone throws in the money and buy meme stocks. And, that's where it was really the memes that got all this going. If it's a meme, it's not as scary to go buy. You don't need confidence. You don't need to worry about it pulling back because everyone's doing the same thing and you feel okay. You don't feel like you have to know more, do anything different. You can trade on your phone. Who cares? You don't need to look at you can make up fake trend lines, make up fake shit. You can rationalize everything you do. You don't need anything. But you could have just bought 2 months ago, and you could have bought and made a bunch of money. But that's all right. That's all right. You start to look at where we are from some of these pullbacks. Since the low of the election, we're up 30% to where we are right now. 30%. 30% since November. Meanwhile, S&P averages 12% a year, right? Oh, that's in 6 months. Yikes. What can you do? Those are the 6 months that retail took off to trade crypto. And they basically broke even. Actually, let's take a look at this chart again. It's lower than when we looked at it before. Really moving. I wish we could just find out the actual flows of Bitcoin, the volume and shit. I mean, I know there's volume charts, but it's just not accurate. It could just be, again, arbitrage and back and forth trades. Doesn't really mean anything. We don't know the true supply and demand. Other than what the price is, you can derive supply and demand by the price, but it's not not projective. What is this trading view clue thing? Did anyone else say that or see that? Can you solve the trading clue? Says Trading View. We get to win a laptop, a 49-inch Samsung monitor, a big ass chair, 5 years of premium Trading View access, and a Trading View mug if we win. Only 5 people have cracked it so far. The hell are we doing here? Head to the page and start looking. The first clue is hidden somewhere on the Bitcoin page and it will direct you to the next clue. And then the next. How many clues are there? Only the smartest will figure that out and have the chance to win their dream trading desk. A fucking laptop? Okay. I love to have multiple laptops on my desk. All right. Only the smartest will. Okay. The final winner will be announced. If you have a clever friend or colleague, one who is great at solving puzzles, dude, I'm going to be great at this. I'm fucking autistic. It's going to be great. Let's take a look. Okay. There's a clue on this page, and it will direct you to the next clue. Okay, so it's definitely a link. There is a link on this page somewhere. Is it literally just clicking this again? Nope. Okay. Next one. Okay. There's a clue on this page. It's definitely a link. And only 5 people have found this first clue. If this takes me 2 minutes, I'm gonna snap. I'm telling you. I'm gonna snap. I've never looked at this page before, so I don't know if there's... I'm gonna snap. How do I go back? Hold on, how many windows are we opening up here? Close some of this. Why does it keep telling me to upgrade my plan? I'm on a yearly thing. Okay. There's a clue here. A drastic dive. Pizza the action. I don't remember seeing that. Maybe. There's a clue on this page? What the fuck is there supposed to be a clue of? Is it to upgrade my plan and pay nothing extra? Is that the they want me to pay? Okay. I don't like this already. 5 years of premium is a lot of money, guys. like 5 grand. That's quite a bit. And a laptop and a desk and a giant monitor and a chair? And only 5 people have found a clue to enter the raffle? Oh. CoinGape. Is it this the clue from CoinGape? Oh god, how do people come up with this shit? Alright, let me click this again. Magic poop cannon. Nice. Probably on the chart. Let me reload this. I think it's on the chart. Click this. Boom. When was this posted? This was posted May 25th. Okay. Let's look on the chart. What did they do? Currency Bitcoke. Sex.io. IMAX Global Prime. Videos only. What's on here? May 25th. May 25th. On the Bitcoin page. Okay, we could read this thing. What if it's the guys? What if the clue is in Morse code from this technicals indicator? It's moving. I've never seen it move. It's Morse code. It's literally Morse code. Hold on. Thought I had a book somewhere. That's Morse code. Let's see. It's really slow though. Is that what it is? Can I do something here? What if I click on this? Can I see a better indication? This is the goddamn clue. Does it do anything if I change it? Can I look at another one to see? If I click on this. That one's moving in the same way, I think. It's hard to tell, actually. Do all these do that? I don't think I've ever seen them move. What the fuck are they moving for? Maybe I'm seeing things. Translate to English. Hmm. Market's still dojied. Retail tickers are still where they were. Everything is basically where it was. Viacom is coming up, though. It's gonna be the next meme right here if Viacom gets going. Back to finding clues, though. Don't understand. But how do you submit it anyway? I don't understand. What? Look at the comments by Jay Madison. Okay. Timeline. 191 Bitcoin timeline entry. One sus one. 191 Bitcoin USD timeline. Timeline. $191. That's pretty far away. Okay. 191. 191. $100. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Did we ever come back down to 191 in here? I don't remember that. I don't think so. God, this is stupid. Where? I think this guy's screwing with me. Oh, there's 191. Oh my God, I'm a moron. Okay. So there's an entry on here. Okay. Happy wife, happy price. Okay. What the hell is that? That's baloney. Poodlemania. Okay. This is a great time. The market's chilling. Not doing much of anything. I don't think we've seen anything move in the last 30 minutes. I'm going to get you guys all entries into this raffle, all right? I've got the demeanor. Okay. Ah, so you found the first one. Now go have a look at your favorite fruit-related symbol to continue your journey. Okay, did the first one. Boom, put that on a little pad. Your favorite fruit-related symbol. Apple, of course. Oh, that's not what I wanted, but nope, don't launch chart. There you go. Apple. Oh god, don't tell me I have to go do that again. See. Index component ideas, timeline, technicals. Take a look at these first. They should have done it in Morse code on the fucking thing. That would have been funny. How many are on the Apple one? This one's probably has so many more than the Bitcoin one. Yeah. I mean, why don't we just make this easier? I'm just going to search second. I'm just going to go second. You found the second clue. Did I? But we're in 1997. How about second? Two? Too many. Blue. found? What would the first? Oh, so you found the first one. Now go have a look at your favorite fruit-related symbol to continue your journey. It's not an orange. It's an apple. So you found the first one. Now go have a look at your favorite fruit-related symbol to continue your journey. Orange. Apple. Ah. You. Apple developer creates Bitcoin. That never happened. Well done. You have spotted something wasn't right with this entry. Great detective work. So are you ready for our final one? We hope you find it. Dude, I'm a fucking madman right now. See this? We'll be the sixth guy. We'll be number 6 here. Okay. Apple developer creates Bitcoin. Well done. You spotted something wasn't right with this entry. Great detective work. So, are you ready for our final one? We hope you find it. Hope. Hope. Hope Bancorp. Timeline. History of Hope. You're so close. There's just one step left. Solve this. Submit your final answer here. All right? Solve this. Okay, what's that say? That says, okay, it's a code. Submit your final answer here. What's it look like? Have you solved all the clues? Time to enter your answer. Enter answer. Type your answer below to enter. You're so close. There's just one step left. Solve this. Um. Hmm. 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 Good luck. Alright, I think we need to do some ciphering, boys. Boom. Boom. Tell me the cipher. Tell me. Let's see. Put it in there. Decrypt. Know the keyword. I don't know what the keyword. What? Automatic decryption. Decoder? Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Okay. No, encoder, decoder, decoder. Decrypt. Pause. Pause, ad block. Okay, do it. Decrypt. I'm already whitelisted you. What the fuck? The key must be one of the words we saw. Maybe it's hope. Maybe the key is hope. Try that. Ha ha ha, see? Genius. Well done. The answer is to the moon. Could have guessed that. All right, boys. Here you go. Here's the link. Answer is to the moon. Done. Good job. See? Type your answer below. To the moon. Okay. I'm going to do this off stream. Or I can do this stuff. You guys already know who the fuck I am. First name. Thanks. In your TradingView username. Don. Oh, yeah. Okay. So you think to the moon is the right answer. Enter your email below so we can contact you if you win. Unrefusables. Submit. You've entered. Good luck. Thanks for playing Trading Club. No, thank you. Put me in, boys. I'm number 6. Number 6. Now you guys all get to go win a free expensive laptop, chair, screen, 5 years of premium, which is like $5,000 in total. And that took me 10 minutes. 10 fucking minutes. Easy. Done. Okay. And the market's paying us. Good job, guys. Good job. I'm ready to take a break. That used up all my brain cells. As in, that was really way too easy, and everyone's going to get that, but that's okay. That's okay. We got in early. Getting in early on the raffles is all that matters. Now, if we were number one, because if I saw it earlier, that would have been helpful, but that's all right. Let's take a break for lunch. Everything is where we've left it. Market trading sideways. Meme tickers are getting going. Retail's buying everything. Momentum is in on individual tickers across the board. Tech looking very good. Looks like it's going to be a fun day overall. Close is probably going to be a lot of fun. I think the question is the average going to melt up during lunch? How close do we get to the trend line? I would imagine we're going to get up there at some point during lunch, at close, one of the two, and then, we'll go from there, see how the rest of the week shapes up. But fun day. We did the trading view clue thing. That was fun. Why not? I'll see you guys this afternoon. Until then, enjoy, all right?